Go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speedy Film Watchers, episode 23. There's a few, I got like three of them. So last week, actually, Twilight Zone got back up. Do you want to talk about those two episodes? Yeah,
Uh,
oh,
sure.
okay, first
Two,
one, the comedian. It's the
2000, 2019 zone, in my opinion, isn't as strong as the 80s zone, but it's interesting, at least.
Well, yeah, I am really liking this show so far. Let's start with the first episode, the comedian, the one about the guy who tells. We're spoiling both episodes, by the way. So if you haven't watched it, the first episode you can actually find on CBS's YouTube channel, so you have no excuse not to watch this one. It's about a comedian who tells jokes, and they cause these people to become Gonzo. What did you think of this episode?
Um, it wasn't a great zone episode, but it wasn't a bad one either. It was kind of like, I like to think of it as a middle tier zone episode where, like, the premise is good, it's just the execution wasn't that good.
I really liked it. I didn't feel the runtime for this. I think people complained it went too long. I didn't really feel it went that long. I think there was some. Actually, someone actually saw someone point out what the whole no apostrophe thing was about. I think it's like a pun regarding. Let me try to find it.
If you, all I could say about the comedian is if you liked that episode, check out the 80s revival series because I feel like um, people that like that will like 80s even more because the 80s series is the GOAT. Like, it's just so fucking good, you know? Um,
There's one symbol that I can't really get the explanation of. It's the bus stop.
yeah, it's a plot point that didn't really go anywhere.
Well, I wouldn't
Um,
really call it a plot point. Plot points are something that, like, a plot point be like,
well, they
Claudette's
did show it
cancer
to
in
the
the
audience a
room.
few times to making it seem like it's a plot point.
Well, not it's symbol. Plot point would be like I was trying to say, Claudette's cancer in the room's like, it's like she's like mentioned it. It's okay. I have cancer, and then that they don't go anywhere with this. With or declaring that something's happening. It's just the bus stop is just a thing that happens,
I
or
have an
not
idea for the
happens, just
podcast
exists.
that I'd like to discuss with you, and I think it's a good idea.
Oh wait,
So you know how this podcast covers mainly movies? What if we dedicate at least one episode a month to some kind of TV show episode or TV season or
um,
whatever? Like, it doesn't have to be but it could be something different than movies for a change.
well, I mean, we do kind of do. I mean, this and Stand our TV series. I do a lot of miniseries as picks.
Yeah, like, as long as it's like, I mean, like, for instance, we both could pick like one episode of a show and then talk about it. It could be like an anthology show, so it's like not
Oh
connected to
yeah.
anything.
Like anthologies, like they kind of function as movies, like Black Mirror. I mean, that even is.
And The Outer Limits, like 1995 and stuff.
Uh, sure, we can discuss that, but let's get back to talk. So let me think. What else have to say? I'm still trying to figure out what's the whole if they're trying to say something related to the Second Amendment, or if that's just a joke or nothing important.
Overall, the comedian wasn't a great zone episode, but it wasn't like low tier. I mean, it was close, but
Bad. It
not
was pretty
really.
interesting. I thought the twist. It had a cool concept, and
I love how they did a nod to Kubrick's The
oh
Shining at the
yeah, the
end.
end where it becomes part of the painting. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool. There's so
I
yeah,
recognized that Easter egg immediately.
yeah. So there was actually another episode, the Nightmare at 30,000 Feet episode. That was
Which
pretty.
is it's not really a remake of Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. It's more of like a successor to it. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really discuss
Oh,
it.
never mind. I did. It's pretty interesting.
I do hate how they remove the monster though, like from the
Oh, you
plane,
know about that?
like or the wing of the plane.
I think you'll find the change interesting. But I want to
I
talk
don't
about
know,
the
like
alien short
a
specimen.
chain a change like that never really works, and this is proof. Like
Nah,
based on what I've read about the
nah,
episode.
watch it yourself. It's interesting.
Nah,
Yes, watch it.
I don't not hug Peel like a lot of people do. That's why I'm
No,
like
no.
always.
I mean,
worry
did
about
he
his
write this
work.
episode? Did he write that episode?
Yeah, he did.
Well, he had part in it.
I don't hate Peel. I just don't really like respect him like some people do. Like I don't think he's like a genius or anything.
Well,
I'm not racist, for the record.
That's not racist. Oh my gosh.
I have to be careful with what you say now because people take it the wrong way, you know?
No, you cannot take that the wrong way. Unless you throw in fake context. But I want to talk about that alien short.
Like I hate Peel because he's a black man. That would be racist, obviously.
Well, so someone doesn't take that out of context. Alright, want to talk about that alien short?
Oh yeah, it was a lot more interesting than the first short. We actually got to see a face hugger and an egg.
Honestly, like even this, so like honestly, I had the theory that these shorts are all connected. Like the first short led to that alien sneaking into like the laboratory. I mean, that's probably all bullshit.
Dude, I thought the dog was gonna get face hugged like Alien 3.
Oh, they got you there. It was
I hope we see an actual adult drone Xeno in the next step. That'd be fun.
I feel like all these shorts feel like parts of an alien movie. Really, that's all my issue with them.
Well, if you put them all together, it adds up to 60 minutes. So it's technically a movie, I guess.
Yeah, it does feel like its own. It kind of feels its own complete theme. Alrighty, so with that out of the way, I guess it's time to talk about.
Let's talk about little girls and Langoliers and scaring little girls.
I'm gonna be honest. This is the most boring movie that's been picked for the podcast. No,
you have to admit it has like really cool moments, like with it disappearing on the airport.
Like
and
the
stuff.
part when it becomes a slasher was pretty epic, and one of the guys does like a Nicolas Cage Wickerman style performance. It's funny. This movie, the rest of the movie is a goddamn chore to watch. Oh my god.
And then you have a discount James Bond character too.
Which one was that?
That body or that hitman that put the guy in a nose hold.
Oh god, like let's see. There was an hour. It took an hour to get them off the plane. They were just talking, trying to like develop the character, and I still never gave a shit.
And then like he got to the disappearance of the airport, which I find interesting. Like I like that trope. It's very spooky if done right.
It's a good trope. Quiet Earth is a good example.
Yeah, that's probably the king of the genre currently until I see other ones.
I actually would like to do an episode.
But yeah, all in all, the book is much better than the miniseries. The book is like much better.
Isn't that basically it for pretty much every Stephen King adaptation?
Yeah, like the biggest offender is it. The book is like 10 million times better than Chapter 1. My God.
I was thinking for Chapter 2. That's gonna be lit.
And also the book ending's confirmed for Chapter 2. That's all I'm gonna say.
Back to Langoliers. This movie, dude, we need to get back to doing these super in-depth discussions from the Master Blue era.
Well, in-depth discussions don't really work if the movie's boring to begin with.
Yeah, don't worry. My pick is gonna be interesting. Let me think. Oh, let's see. The CGI Langoliers I was like, what the fuck is that?
And Stephen King was Mr. Toomey's boss in The Hallucination.
Oh. The other thing really weird, so like that whole thing with like the dad makes up the Langoliers, is that supposed to be like a commentary on bad parenting or something?
No, it's just more or less a bedtime nightmare story, you know?
I think it maybe like how bad protein can screw up a kid and then into adulthood.
I love how Stephen King is just like chilling at the round table on the tarmac, and he's all like, "You're late, Toomey." It's just like, holy fuck, that's just a hilarious cameo.
So freaking weird.
I love it when Stephen King just drops into his movies, and it's like really funny.
Trying to think of substance. This movie's 3 hours long. Has literally nothing to say or anything interesting.
Well, it is interesting because the Langoliers are responsible for eating up past time. Like when time passes, the Langoliers have to clean up the garbage. I think that's an interesting concept. Like you have time eaters.
Yeah. it's just it's so weird. This movie get 3 hours on has nothing to talk about, but yet. Alrighty, so
wait. Let's talk about the analogy the little girl comes up with about how the monsters sound like a cereal and milk when they pop. That's a hilarious comparison.
I know it's like what did you compare to like Rice Krispies? I think it was. Yeah, Rice Krispies. That's so fucking weird.
It just comes out of nowhere and it's really out of place.
Yeah, what?
The scene's all tense and then all of a sudden she says, "These sound like cereal." Okay.
Oh my fucking god, dude. Oh shit. I'm gonna be honest, that little girl was a shitty actress rather.
Dude, I love old Stephen King miniseries. They're the goat of cheesiness.
Yeah, you recommended 2 so far. How many more are there?
There's a bunch. You have a miniseries for the Golden Years. You have a miniseries for Rose Red. You have a miniseries for The Shining. There's a bunch.
Oh god, wasn't The Shining one fucking awful?
No. That's, in my opinion, that's a little overblown. It's not as, I don't think it's as decent as Kubrick's, but it has more scarier moments than Kubrick's. But overall, Kubrick's is better. But the miniseries Shining is not bad. It's a 7 out of 10 for me.
Don't feel recommended the future. But if we don't have anything else to say about the Langoliers, I guess it's time to go into Q&A. We have 4 questions this time. This better be good. Alright, question number 1 from your mom. When are you going to kill yourself? I don't plan on doing that.
Never.
What'd you say?
Yeah. Get on, fag. Next.
Alright, question number 2 from Frederick Albertson, who asks, can you pick better movies? K, thanks, bye. I have a great...
That's the thing about this podcast. We watch a lot of meme shit on here.
Oh yeah, now trust me, back during the Master League Blue era, we watched some fucking great shit. My next movie's great. Don't worry.
What happened to Leo Blue?
Oh, I remember I did the Reservoir Dogs episode without him. He was really mad. You know what I really should do sometime? Maybe if he wants to discuss it on the podcast, an episode, I'll be glad to do that to make up for that. Maybe, I don't know.
Reminder, he apparently hates you now, and it's really funny.
Ah, shit. Well, a lot of people hate me, so I'm not surprised. Ella Macro Bender asks, when are you changing your name from Real Cubics Warholder to Emulator Boy? I mean, I have the Cubics.
Yeah.
I have
Remind
the
you
Cubics
your world record isn't official?
No, it's an official word. There was nothing saying the emulator was banned, so...
Land in their minds?
Yeah, it's just Ella Macro Bender's salty and doesn't want to put in the effort to bot my world record. He sucks at the game. Alright, fine.
Reminder, I got Markinal Bender to speedrun Corvette and be still an epic.
Alright, we got our final question from Vunder Snutch West. If you could freeze time, whose nipples would you pinch first?
His mother's? Next. I'm joking.
Oh boy, that was a wacky question. Alrighty, so for my next pick, I'm going to pick the movie that I was going to pick from last time I picked, but then we got to change it over to Serenity. And if you all don't remember what that was, it's Brand Upon the Brain. Great movie.
It even sounds bad.
No, it's unironically a great movie. It's pretty wild.
Better be as good as Serenity?
No, it's not some fuck up retarded bullshit like Serenity. It's an actually good movie. It's kind of crazy. It's definitely for being avant-garde art film, for sure.
I think I'm going to recommend a really funny meme movie the week after next.
Is that going to be what the guest star watches if we get one? Oh, Jesus. Don't torture the guest star. I might, or else I might get one.
I was gonna suggest
Don't spoil
for the movie.
No, don't spoil. All right.
God, I love you, Peter Afro.
All right. So we'll see you next episode where we do Brand Upon the Brain. Go back to.
Let me look up this meme movie real quick.
It's not a meme. Brand. It's a legit, no memes, great movie.
It's probably a meme. Let me check.
It's not a meme. It's not a meme.
It's
not a meme. I swear to God, it's not a meme.
Oh, it's across the sea. Interesting.
Yep, not a meme. Legit great movie. You're gonna. I
Groove?
have a feeling you're gonna really like this one.
Groove?
Proof?
Groove? Groove?
Watch
Groove?
it.
Groove?
Yeah, when you watch it, you'll see it's a great movie.
We'll see about that one, Pete Avra.
All
We'll see
right.
about that one.
I guess I'll stop
All right, later,
recording
Pete.
in 3, 2.